now and press the bell icon. Never miss an update.
Now the next question says, what is the theme of the 2021 Financial Literacy Week organized by RBI? So what is the theme of year 2021 Financial Literacy Week organized by RBI? So every year RBI is conducting this Financial Literacy Week. No? So they are asking this year theme, which is the options. Option A, KYC, exercising credit discipline, grievance redressal and going digital. Option B, it is digital innovation. Option C, credit discipline and credit from formal institutions. Option D, micro, small and medium enterprise. In none of these. So simply the theme for the year of 2021 regarding Financial Literacy Week. No? The right answer is option C, credit discipline and credit from formal institutions. The RBI has launched this Financial Literacy Week, FLW. So this week the date will call it as February 8th to 12th. So usually RBI saying February 8th to 12th is the Financial Literacy Week. So as far as this question is concerned, to propagate financial education, this RBI is conducting this Financial Literacy Week from 8th February to 12th February. So the theme for this 2021 this FLW Financial Literacy Week is credit discipline and credit from formal institutions. That much. Now moving on, next question. The question says USD 100 million has been committed by New Development Bank for NIF fund of funds. The question is, expand this NIF fund of funds. So simply recently this New Development Bank committed $100 for funding to NIF. So the question is, expand of NIIF. This is options. Options are A, National Investment and Infrastructure Fund Limited. B, National Institutional Infrastructure Fund Limited. Option C, National Investment and International Fund Limited. Option D, National Infrastructure and Investment Fund Limited. This is the right answer. Right answer is option A. It is National Investment and Infrastructure Fund Limited. So simply New Development Bank has committed to give fund to this National Investment and Infrastructure Fund Limited. So we'll see brief about this infrastructure investment, National Investment and Infrastructure Fund Limited. So this NIFL, it is basically Indian based government subsidy company. So this NIFL, it is a collaborative investment platform for international and Indian investors anchored by the Government of India. So this company is anchored by Government of India. So this NIFL invests across asset classes such as infrastructure and private equity and other diversified sectors in India. So the right answer is option A. It is National Investment and Infrastructure Fund Limited. Abbreviation of NIIF. Now the question says, Ford has joined hands with which technology major to use artificial intelligence and cloud computing in offering customer services? Which is the options? Options are A, Microsoft, B, Google, C, Amazon, D, IBM. In none of these. Maybe you may all knew about this Ford, no? This Ford company, it is automaker company, no? So this Ford has joined hands with Google company to cooperate in software and artificial intelligence. The right answer is option B, Google. This US based Ford company has joined hands with Alphabet Incorporation's Google company in cooperation in software as well as artificial intelligence, also cloud computing. So to develop new consumer services and modernize their internal operations. For this purpose, this Ford company has joined with this Google company. That's all about this question. Now moving on next question. The question says, who will take over as a new CEO of Amazon as Jeff Bezos has announced to step down as CEO? So simply, Jeff Bezos has announced his step down as CEO of Amazon from July 2021. The question is, who will take over this new CEO? These are the options. Options are A. Andy Jassy, B. Amit Agarwal, C. Kiran Shah, D. Sundar Pichai. In none of these. The right answer is option A. Andy Jassy. Amazon CEO Jeff Bezos will leave his post later this year, that is 2021. So here Andy Jassy, she joined in the year 1997 in Amazon, and she is head of this cloud computing services and web services now. So present, she will be the new Indian CEO of this Amazon. When it comes to starting point of this Amazon headquarters, it is Washington DC, United States. Now next question says, what is the estimated GDP, gross domestic product, growth rate of India in financial year 21 as per ICRA? As per ICRA, India's rating agency, it is ICRA. So as per ICRA, what is the estimated GDP growth rate of India in the financial year 21? Is the options. Option A -8%, option B -7%, option C -4%, option D -6%. In none of these. The India's rating agency ICRA has projected the Indian economy to contract 7%. To contract 7% for which year? For financial year 21. Right answer is option B. It is -7%. So for the next fiscal financial 2022, ICRA expect a considerable economic growth up to 10.5%. So they are expecting in next financial year 22, they are expecting 10.5, but at present financial 21, they are expecting -7%. This you need to remember. And Moody has projected the economic growth for the next financial year, not this financial year, but next financial year. Moody is also expecting 13.7%, but ICRA giving only 10.5%. When it comes to this question, at present for financial 21, both Moody and ICRA is giving almost all same nearby, but ICRA is perfectly giving -7% our estimated GDP growth rate. Now moving on next question. The question says, $68 million amount of loan agreement has been sanctioned by which organization for Nagaland Enhancing Classroom Teaching and Resource Project? I'll repeat the question once again. The loan amount agreement, how much? $68 million has been sanctioned by which organization? So which organization this much amount sanctioned for Nagaland Enhancing Classroom Teaching and Resources Project? But this project name you need to remember. What project name? Nagaland Enhancing Classroom Teaching and Resources Project. Which is options? Options are A. World Bank, B. AIIB, C. ADB, D. Reserve Bank of India. In none of these. So the Government of India and Government of Nagaland and the World Bank. So option A is the right answer. Option A is the right answer. Government of India and Government of Nagaland and World Bank signed a $68 million agreement for this Nagaland Enhancing Classroom Teaching and Resources Project. So across the Nagaland, this project to be implemented. So to enhance the governance of schools across the Nagaland. So through development of this Nagaland. This loan agreement has been sanctioned by World Bank for Nagaland Enhancing Classroom Teaching and Resources Project. For what? To enhance the governance of schools across the Nagaland. For developing of schools and the governance of the schools. The governance of schools across this Nagaland state. Now let's see the next question. The question says, through line of credit LOC to fund Greater Malay Connectivity Project of the Government of Maldives, how much amount has been committed by Exim Bank? The question saying that Exim Bank recently given line of credit to Greater Malay Connectivity Project for the Government of Maldives. So how much amount they have been committed? See the options. Options are A USD 300 million, B 400 million, C 500 million, D 600 million. So all are US dollars only, the currency. Now we'll see right answer. The right answer is option B USD 400 million. The Export Import Bank of India, Exim Bank, will provide 400 million US dollars to Maldives country through line of credit LOC to fund Greater Malay Connectivity Project. That project name is Greater Malay Connectivity Project. So the agreement under the LOC will be effective from January of this year. So overall, this Exim Bank is giving a line of credit to 400 million US dollars to this Maldives country for Greater Malay Project connectivity. When it comes to static part of this Maldives, headquarters of Maldives, so the capital of Maldives, it is Malé. And when it comes to this Exim Bank headquarters, it is Mumbai, and the present CEO of Exim Bank, David Rajkhanna. Now moving on, next question. The question says, which state's police signed MOU with the State Bank of India to implement the e-challan to impose penalties on violators of traffic rules? Which state police signed MOU with SBI to implement the e-challan to impose penalties on violators of traffic rules? These are the options. Options are A Meghalaya, B Mizoram, C Assam, D Uttar Pradesh. In none of these. The Meghalaya State Police. Answer is option A. The Meghalaya State Police has signed MOU with State Bank of India. So they have entered into a MOU with to implement this e-chalana in the jurisdiction of this Shillong Traffic Police, STP. Shillong Traffic Police. When it comes to study part of this Meghalaya capital Shillong, and governor of Meghalaya Satyapal Malik. When it comes to CM, Chief Minister of Meghalaya, Sangma, it is Conrad Sangma. Now the Meghalaya State Police has signed with this SBI to implement this e-chalana to impose penalties on traffic rules. This much you need to remember for exam point of view. Friends, once we have read the question says the e-Kuber payment system version 2.9 of RBI was launched in which state or UT? So simply what is being asked in this question is this e-Kuber payment system version 2.9 so was launched in which state? So this payment system is related to Reserve Bank of India. So we'll see the options first. Options are A Delhi, B Jammu and Kashmir, C Puducherry, D Chandigarh. In none of these. So here the right answer is option B Jammu and Kashmir. This payment system version 2.9 of RBI, this was launched in Jammu and Kashmir. So that okay. Now we'll see the background of this question. So what is this e-Kuber payment system? Friends, every banking organization having their own CBS, their own core banking solution for doing their financial and non-financial transactions. So like that, RBI also having one type of payment system like CBS. So that they are calling as e-Kuber payment system. So in this question, they have released a new version, that is 2.9. It is version number. So it was launched in Jammu and Kashmir state. So that's all. That is the basic idea about this e-Kuber payment system. So when it comes to static part of this question, so first time this e-Kuber payment system was launched in the year 2012. So this you need to remember. In 2012 it was implemented. After that it became good success in central banks and all over the world. So and also you need to remember one more thing. This RBI e-Kuber payment system can be accessed either through Infinet or internet. So Infinet means it is abbreviation is Indian Finance Network. So it can be accessed through Infinet or internet also. So these 2 points you need to remember. One is it is implemented in 2012 and latest version is 2.9 and it can be accessed either through Infinet or internet. So that's all about this question. Now moving on next question. The question says Reserve Bank of India has imposed a withdrawal cap of rupees how much on Deccan Urban Cooperative Bank for next 6 months. Already RBI imposed withdrawal cap on this Deccan Urban Cooperative Bank. So now they have extended up to 6 months. So they are asking how much amount that cap or that withdrawal cap. These are options. Options are A 5,000, B 2,500, C 1,500, D 1,000 in none of these. Friends, the right answer is option D. It is 1,000 rupees. So RBI has imposed a withdrawal cap of rupees 1,000 on this Deccan Urban Cooperative Bank. So this Deccan Urban Cooperative Bank is belonging to Karnataka state. This is also important. This bank belonging to Karnataka state, that to Vijayapura district. So this is Deccan Urban Cooperative Bank. So an RBI can impose this type of powers under section 35A of Banking Regulation Act 1949. So this also you have to remember. So RBI, these type of caps, these type of imposed withdrawal caps and deposit withdrawals, no. So like this rules, so like these conditions RBI can put on banks under section 35A of BR Act 1949. This is also very important. And when it comes to this question, RBI is imposing withdrawal cap of 1,000 rupees on this Urban Cooperative Bank for next 6 months. So RBI has put a withdrawal cap of 1,000 rupees from Deccan Cooperative Bank for next 6 months. So that's all. Now moving on next question. Next question says which country will emerge as the second most resilient economy in the year 2021? So as per the International Economic Resilience Rank, IER, we'll call it as IER, International Economic Resilience Rank, released by PhD Chamber of Commerce and Industry, PhD CCI. These are options. Options are A Singapore, B South Korea, C Germany, D India. So in this question you need to remember three abbreviations. One is International Economic Resilience IER and second one is PhD CCI, PhD Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Now we'll see the right answer here in this question. Right answer is option D. It is India. Yes, India will emerge as the second most resilient economy in the year 2021. So as per International Economic Resilience Rank, so this rank released by industry body, that is PhD Chamber of Commerce and Industry. We call it as Chamber of Commerce and Industry. So as per this PhD CCI International Economic Resilience Rank 2021, India's rank, it is second among the top 10 leading economies in terms of most resilient economy in 2021. So in this rank, Germany became the first rank among top 10 leading economies. Germany became first and India became second. This question may ask like this also. So which country has topped the PhD CCI International Economic Resilience Rank 2021? So in that, if the question asks like this, means you have to give answer. Here this question is asking first rank. So first rank is it is Germany. Second rank is it is India. Now next question says which payment platform has decided to stop domestic payment services in India from April 2021? This question seems important in next examinations. Which payment platform has decided to stop domestic payment services in India? We see the options. Options are A PaySafe, B PayUmoney, C PayPal, D Amazon Pay. In none of these. We'll see the right answer. Right answer is option C. It is PayPal. So the California-based this global digital payment platform, this PayPal, has announced that the company has decided to wind down its domestic payment services in India with effect from April of this year. So April 1st, 2021. So there is tough competition among these digital payment platforms now. So after entering into Amazon, PhonePe, PayUmoney, other digital money and Airtel money, so maybe due to tough competition and funds and all these, no. So this PayPal decided to step down their businesses in India. So that's all about this question. Next question says, name the new MD of Google Cloud India Business. Name the new MD of Google Cloud India Business. It's the options. Options are A. Thomas Kurian, B. George Kurian, C. Bikram Singh Bedi, D. Mark V. Hurd. In none of these. Yes, Google Cloud has appointed Bikram Singh Bedi. Option C. It answer is option C. Google Cloud has appointed Bikram Singh Bedi as the new MD for its India business. So Google Cloud India has been hiring rapidly over the past couple of years now to expand its footprint in the country of India. So especially in India, the businesses working with Google Cloud include Dr. Reddy's Laboratories and Hero MotoCorp and ICICI Prudential. No? So recently, Google Cloud has been appointed Bikram Singh Bedi as a new MD for its Indian business, for its India business. Now moving on to next question. The question says, the GMR Group has signed an agreement with which company to explore collaboration opportunities across aviation services, technologies and innovation. The GMR Group has signed an agreement with which company to explore collaboration opportunities across aviation services, technologies as well as innovation. We'll see the options. Options are A. Airbus, B. Boeing, C. GE Aviation, D. Safran. In none of these. So here the options are related to that aviation service companies, no? Airbus, Boeing, GE, Safran. We will see right answer for this question. Right answer is option A. It is Airbus. Yes, the Indian airport operator and aviation infrastructure developer, GMR Group. The GMR Group what it does? It is Indian airport operator and aviation infrastructure developer. Aviation infrastructure developer. So it is a headquarters of this GMR Group it is in New Delhi. So this GMR Group has signed a MOU, Memorandum of Understanding with the Airbus. So Airbus, it is an European multinational aerospace corporation, so based in Netherlands. So this agreement for what purpose? To explore collaboration opportunities across aviation services, technologies and innovation. So when it comes to starting part, this GMR, as I told, it is headquarters, it is New Delhi, and when it comes to Airbus, it is headquarters, it is Netherlands. Now next question says, which Indian company has become the world's first company to receive consignment of carbon neutral oil from USA? Carbon neutral oil from USA. We'll see the options. The options are A. Adani Enterprise Limited, B. Indorama Ventures, C. Apar Industries Limited, D. Reliance Industries Limited. In none of this. We'll see the right answer. Right answer is option D. Reliance Industries Limited. Yes, of course, our billionaire Mukesh Ambani's Reliance Industries has sourced the world's first consignment of carbon neutral oil from United States of America, as it looks to become a net zero carbon company by 2035. This year 2021, no? So by 2035, this Reliance Industries become a net zero carbon company by 2035. When it comes to Reliance Industries, it is headquarters, it is Mumbai now. For present CEO of this Reliance Industries, Mukesh Ambani. So as far as this question concerned, this Reliance company is world's first company to receive this consignment, that is carbon and neutral oil from USA. Now moving on next question. The question says, what is the saving account scheme name launched by Federal Bank for children below 18 years recently? Yes, recently Federal Bank has launched a new scheme for children below 18 years now. So that they are asking that scheme name. We'll see the options. Options are A. Child Fed, B. Federal Feast, C. Fed First, D. First Fed. In none of these. Yes, Federal Bank has launched a special saving account scheme for children below age 18 years. So that scheme name is called Fed First. So here option C is the right answer. Fed First, it is a scheme launched by Federal Bank for children below age of 18 years. Now next question says, with which country has the government of India approved the signing of Comprehensive Economic Cooperation and Partnership Agreement, CECPA? See friends, this also you need to remember. One abbreviation came here again. That is CECPA, Comprehensive Economic Cooperation and Partnership Agreement. Which is the options? Options are A. Ethiopia, B. Kenya, C. South Africa, D. Mauritius. When we see option A to D, so all these countries are especially African countries. So the cabinet has approved the signing of this Comprehensive Economic Cooperation and Partnership Agreement between India and Mauritius. Option D is the right answer. So with India and Mauritius, government has made an agreement. So with India and Mauritius, no. So the India and Mauritius CECPA is the first trade agreement to be signed by India with an African country. So India never made an agreement with any under the CECPA with any African country. So this is the first agreement with the African country. The answer is option D. It is Mauritius. Now moving on, next question. The question says, which organization can issue directions related to maintenance of liquidity coverage ratio, risk management, asset classification, and a loan to value ratio, among others, for housing finance companies? For whom? For housing finance companies. Simply, which organization can issue directions related to maintenance of these liquidity coverage ratios and risk management, to housing finance companies? We'll see the options. Options are A. NABARD, B. Ministry of Finance, C. RBI, D. SEBI. Right answer is option C, RBI. Of course, RBI only can issue directions to housing finance companies to maintain this liquidity coverage ratios, risk management, asset classifications, and loan to values and other ratios. Here the RBI only can give directions to these housing finance companies. So these housing finance companies regulated by National Housing Bank and Reserve Bank of India. These both organizations can regulate these housing finance companies. And what are the some examples of housing finance companies are? So there are Canfin Finance Company, it is housing finance company, and ICICI Home Finance Company, it is housing finance company. And if you see Sundaram PNB Paribas, so it is also housing finance company. And if you see Dewan Housing Finance Corporation, so it is also an housing finance company. So there are many housing finance companies are going on in India. So for this regulated by our NHB and RBI, and RBI can issue directions related to maintenance of this liquidity and risk management, asset classifications, and loan to value ratios. So these can issue directions by RBI only. And when it comes to static part, this housing finance companies, then this, regarding this RBI headquarters it is Mumbai, and RBI governor he is 25th governor. That's it. Now the question says, Government of India and AIIB, Government of India and Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank signed a $304 million US loan agreement for which Indian intrastate transmission system enhancement project? So simply, Government of India and AIB signed an agreement, that loan agreement, which is the worth of $304 million US. So for which Indian intrastate transmission system enhancement projects? For which project? Simply they are asking. Which the options? Options are A. Nagaland, B. Sikkim, C. Assam, D. Meghalaya. In none of these. And the Indian government and this Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank have entered into an agreement to improve the power transmission network in Assam state. In Assam state. Right answer is option C, Assam. Yes, Government of India and AAB have entered into a partnership in an agreement to improve the power transmission network in Assam. So that they have signed a loan agreement worth of 304 million US dollars. So this loan agreement is signed for Assam Intrastate Transmission System Enhancement Project. So that project name also you need to remember, Assam Intrastate Transmission System Enhancement Project. So this total cost of this project is 365 originally. So this AAB providing loan 304 million US dollars. So this also you need to remember the total project cost for this intra-state transmission system enhancement project now total worth is 365 million US dollars. Out of that 304 giving by our AIIB, Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank. Now when it comes to static part of this question, the headquarters of AIIB, it is China, it is Beijing, and president of AIIB, Jing Lincoln. And when it comes to this Assam, so Assam, it is Assam famous folk dance, it is Bihu dance, no? So that also you need to remember when static part of related to this Assam state. Now moving on to next question, the question says, which of the following organization announced to introduce pre-expiry margin to certain commodities of ARMF? ARMF, its abbreviation Alternate Risk Management Framework. This abbreviation you need to remember, ARMF, Alternate Risk Management Framework, in order to curb negative price scenarios. So recently after COVID-19 we are seeing negative prices scenario in every sector, no? So the question says which of the following organization, so which organization has announced to introduce pre-expiry margin to certain commodities of ARMF? This is options, option A RBA, option B SEBI, option C AMFI, option D FSDC, option E none of these. So mostly these type of what we can say, these are conditions, these type of curbs, and who will announce? Usually our SEBI. So the Security Exchange Board of India will be introducing this pre-expiry margin and to curb this negative price scenarios. Right answer is option B SEBI. So this will help to strengthen the risk management framework main. So they are saying the pre-expiry margins will applicable to certain commodities, no? So which are under the alternative risk management framework. So by using this framework, they can put some margins to certain commodities. So the SEBI, this Security Exchange Board of India, will be introducing this pre-expiry margins on cash settlements contract from 1st April of this 2021. So under this commodities are deemed to be a susceptible, so susceptible to possible near zero to negative price. So they will tolerate, they will adjust these margins, this commodity margin from negative scenario to positive scenario. So when it comes to static part of this question, the SEBI headquarters, it is Mumbai, and SEBI chairman Ajit Tyagi. So simply you need to remember SEBI only can announce these type of margins, that is pre-expiry margins to certain commodities of this ARMF. For what purpose? To curb negative price scenarios. So here ARMF, its abbreviation is Alternate Risk Management Framework. Friends, now next question says, the Competition Commission of India CCI has approved the stake purchasing from which Indian telecommunication company by Panthorpe Invest Limited? By Panthorpe Invest Limited. So CCI has approved the stake purchasing from which telecommunication company? That is Indian telecommunication company by this Panthorpe Invest Limited. We'll see the options. Options are A. Bharti Airtel Limited, B. Reliance Jio, C. BSNL, D. Tata Telecommunications Limited. In none of these. Right answer is option D, Tata Telecommunications Limited. The CCI, Competition Commission of India, has approved the stake purchasing from Tata Telecommunications Limited by Panthorpe Invest Limited. By which company? By Panthorpe Invest Limited. Now moving on next question. The question says, Which institution has taken the State Bank of Sikkim under its regulatory purview? Most important question for upcoming examinations. Which institution has taken the State Bank of Sikkim under its regulatory purview? So regulatory, the question seems they are given half of the answer here. Option A, central government. Option B, government of Sikkim. Option C, RBA. Option D, NABARD. And E, none of these. State Bank of Sikkim. So it is operated within Sikkim state and it is wholly owned by state government of Sikkim. That you have to remember. But in recent, the State Bank of Sikkim, that ownership with the government of Sikkim only, but it comes under regulated by Reserve Bank of India. Now that regulatorship has changed. So now RBA can regulate the State Bank of Sikkim. That you need to remember. So earlier that regulation everything taken under by state government of Sikkim. Now that regulator conditions, regulator norms can given by RBA. So basically this Sikkim it is the headquarters of Sikkim, it is Gangtok. No, so in Gangtok the State Bank of Sikkim is operating. So currently this State Bank of Sikkim having 42 branches and it operates 3 revenue counters. When comes to starting part of regarding the State Bank of Sikkim, if you see background of this the State Bank of Sikkim, it is a state-owned banking institution. Its headquarters at Gangtok and Sikkim. So the bank operates within the jurisdiction of the state of Sikkim, and in addition to banking services, State Bank of Sikkim handles treasury functions of state governments of Sikkim. So all state government of Sikkim transactions, financial transactions handled by the State Bank of Sikkim only. Now when it comes to starting part of this question, when it comes to medicine director, MD for the State Bank of Sikkim, his name is Wangadi Bhutia, and when it comes to chairman, his name is Dal Bahadur Gurung, and chairman, and MD is I don't know, Wagadi Bhuta. His full name is Purba Wagadi Bhutia. So here the answer is option C, it is RBA. So RBA has taken the State Bank of Sikkim under his regulatory purview. Friends, if you go further in our session, the next question says, which country has regained the largest trading partner of India in the year 2020? Which country has regained the largest trading partner of India in the year 2020? Which is the options? Options are A, UK, B, USA, C, Singapore, D, China. In none of these. Right answer is option D, China. China has regained their position as the top trading partner of India in the year 2020. So which was held by US since 2018 to 19. No? So later China became the largest trading partner of India. So the two-way trade between India and China stood around 77 billion US dollars in the year 2020. The worth of this trading is around 77.7 billion US dollars in the year 2020. So despite this conflict, along this line of actual trade, LAC and raising anti-China sentiments, all of these, no. So despite this conflict, this India and China trade stood at 77.7% in the year 2020. So earlier US since 2018 to 19, US is our largest trading partner. After that, China has taken this trading partner as to India. So now when it comes to this question, China is the largest trading partner of India in the year 2020. That's all. Now moving on, next question. The question says, the Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India, IRDAI, has approved the stake to acquire 12% in Max Life Insurance Company by which private bank and its subsidiaries? Simply this IRDA has approved to sell some stake in this Max Life Insurance Company, that 12% stake by which private bank is going to acquire that much stake and for their subsidiaries. Simply they are asking that bank name. Which is the options? Options are A. Citibank, B. Kotak Mahindra Bank, C. HDFC Bank, D. Axis Bank. In none of these. So friends, the right answer is option D. It is Axis Bank. So Axis Bank got approval to acquire 12% stake in Max Life Insurance from IRDAI. So finally, IRDA is the authority of India for insurance related companies. So IRDA has approved this to acquire this 12% stake in this Max Life Insurance company. So and also this Axis Bank and this giving this Axis Bank also having their subsidiary companies like Axis Capital and Axis Securities. No. So Axis Bank and their subsidiaries Axis Capital and Axis Securities going to acquire total 12% stake in this Max Life Insurance company. That was the basic idea about this question. Now when it comes to starting part of this question, the present CEO of this Max Life Insurance company, his name is Prashant Tripathi and the headquarters it is New Delhi. Headquarters of this Max Life Insurance is in New Delhi. When come to Axis Bank, the Axis Bank headquarters is in Mumbai. So finally, the Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India (IRDAI) has approved to acquire 12% stake in Max Life Insurance Company by Axis Bank and its subsidiaries like Axis Capital and Axis Securities. So that was the answer for this question. Now we'll go on to the question. The question says, so what is the name of outward forex remittance service rolled out by Kotak Mahindra Bank on its mobile banking app? So in mobile banking, Kotak Mahindra's mobile banking, the Kotak Bank has released one outward forex remittance service. So they have included this service in their mobile banking app, no? So they are asking that service name. We'll see the options. The options are A. Kotak Abroad, B. Kotak Remit, C. Kotak Transact, D. Kotak FX, Kotak Forex. In none of these. So recently, our India's private sector bank, it is Kotak Mahindra Bank. It is in our India's private sector bank, no? So this bank has launched an outward forex remittance service. Means outward forex remittance means the money which is sending through from India to other countries. So they're asking that service name. So the service name is Kotak Remit. So recently our Kotak Mahindra Bank has released this outward forex remittance service, that is Kotak Remit. So through this Kotak Remit service, through mobile banking app, Kotak Mahindra Bank mobile bank users can send per day 25,000 US dollars, which is equivalent, and the maximum per financial year maximum 2,50,000 US dollars can remit through their mobile banking app platform. So that is a simply. So here you need to remember that Kotak Mahindra for outward forex remittance service name. So that service name is Kotak Remit. So through this Kotak Remit, you need to remember these 2 points also, 2,50,000 and 25,000 US dollars only. Both currencies in US dollars only. So per day customers can send maximum 25,000 US dollars. In financial year maximum can send USD 2,50,000. So that much only. And when come to starting part of this Kotak Mahindra Bank, the headquarters of this Kotak Mahindra Bank, it is Mumbai, of course, and present MD and CEO of Kotak Mahindra Bank, Uday Kotak. So these 4 points you need to remember in exam point of view. Now moving on to next question. The question says, how much amount will be infused by Finance Ministry in the state-owned general insurance companies for the fiscal year 2021 for their recapitalization? So simply, how much amount Finance Ministry has infused in general insurance companies, which is to public sector insurance companies. We'll see the options. The options are A. 2,500 crores, B. 3,000 crores, C. 3,500 crores, D. 3,200 crores. In none of these. So recently Finance Ministry will going to infuse this 3,000 crore capital. So the answer is option B, 3,000. The Finance Ministry will infuse 3,000 crore capital into our state-owned general insurance companies during this current quarter, that is of 2021. So for recapitalization purpose. Recapitalization means to improve their financial health of these insurance companies. So present there are three public sector general insurance companies are there, no? So one is National Insurance, and another one is Oriental Insurance, and last one is United India Insurance. So these are the three public sector insurance companies. I will repeat once again. What are those? National Insurance, Oriental Insurance, and United India Insurance. So these three insurance companies will get 3,000 crore capital for recapitalization of their businesses to improve their financial health. And if you haven't yet subscribed my channel, please subscribe my Invoting YouTube channel and press the bell icon to get the latest notification to your mobile. Thanks for watching. Thank you. Jai Hind.